Another thing that's entirely missing is the Separatists. Palpatine did not come into power because of terrorism. He came into power because of the Separatists, and because a civil war was tearing the galaxy apart, and people were looking for anybody to make it stop. And Palpatine made it stop, and it's because he controlled both sides, which the public obviously didn't know. But that is his legitimacy. That is why he is in power. For example, one thing they could have done in this is to say, Guam is trying to secede, and Guam could spark another civil war. And remember how your planet would have been wiped out if it hadn't been for Palpatine's wisdom and leadership, right? Stuff like this, right? Like, it should not have been terrorism, I think. It should have been the threat of another separatist movement.
You mentioned the Galactic Civil War, and I was like, I have no clue about that, to be fair. So
that's the prequels.
Oh, I don't. I only watched Revenge of the Sith. So when I was being introduced to Star Wars, I was specifically told, skip episode 1 and skip episode 2. They're both, completely garbage. Watch episode 3. And I only ever watched that once, and then kind of go into something like A New Hope, etc. So
yeah,
all of that completely over my head.
And that is good advice in general, but it's more like the reason Palpatine got into power and turned the Republic into the Empire is because he had engineered the Civil War, where half the galaxy had seceded. That is why he is in power, and that is why he has all this authority and all this political capital. And that should be part of the like the narrative. Stapling a war on terror narrative on this or metaphor on this, I don't think makes it stronger. And I think that none of these things are deal breakers. None of these things ruin the story. But I think all of them put together kind of make it not feel quite right, especially considering how close we are. Like, this leads directly into Rogue One, and Rogue One leads directly into A New Hope, right? So there is Darth Vader running around, hunting rebels in this, right? And I'm not saying he should have appeared, right? Like, that's maybe a bit overdone, and he appears in Rogue One and all of that. I'm just saying we are very close to the original trilogy here. This is not 10 years out. This is not 5 years out. This is less than a year out. And it does not feel like the same world for these reasons. And it has nothing to do with Jedi or lightsabers or anything like that. It's just what we know about the Empire and what the Republic used to be like, and from Episode 4, and what we know about what the founding of the Empire was from the prequels. Those two things don't quite line up. Like, Andor is the connecting piece, right? And it does not connect the pieces, in my opinion. Okay. You're welcome to fight me on this, by the way, but it's I think that is a big part of why it was not compelling.